For the second time in just over 2 months, former President Trump is set to appear in a court as a criminal defendant.
This afternoon, the former president will be arraigned at a Miami courthouse on 37 counts in an alleged scheme to hide classified documents. And here to discuss is ABC executive editorial producer John Santucci, and from the federal courthouse in Miami, our senior investigative reporter Aaron Katersky. Good to see the both of you. All right, Aaron, we'll start with you. Paint the picture for us. What's the scene today, and what are we expecting when the former president arrives there at the courthouse?
DeMarco, the security posture has ramped up in the last little bit here as we near the hour when former President Trump is going to appear on the 13th floor courtroom to face a federal magistrate, possibly enter a plea of not guilty to those 37 counts, charging him with mishandling classified material. We've seen Miami police officers on horseback around the area, other officers on bicycles. The Federal Protective Service has parked vehicles you might be able to see behind me at the entrance to the courthouse, and officers and agents are patrolling the grounds. And they're interspersed with some Trump supporters and some supporters of President Biden, who are just kind of meandering through here. Nothing of any size or scale, but we know that the Miami Police Department is on alert for anything. They say they've prepared for a crowd of 5,000 to 50,000. They just aren't sure what's going to materialize ahead of Trump's arrival here at court.
John, you've covered Trump for many, many years now.
A decade, who's counting?
So, you know, when you've been speaking to the people in his circle,
yeah,
what has his reaction been to all this?
You know, fits of anger is what's described to me. And really, whomever wrote that indictment, they knew Donald Trump. They knew how to get into his head, because Donald Trump, we remember from the years in the White House, this is a guy that is overly visual, right? So most indictments that I've ever seen don't include pictures. This was a flip book of pictures, and they were pictures taken by one of his most loyal aides, surveillance footage from his company. So things like that have just continually angered this former president. I also think that the indictment, in part, that it was a story told by the aide, by his attorneys, but by Donald Trump. I mean, we know that Donald Trump, loves to talk, loves to schmooze, loves to, chit-chat with people. The fact that so much of this indictment is Donald Trump's own words against him, that is really annoying the former president.
So, Aaron, what do we know about the classified documents, and what penalties could he face?
Well, he is facing charges under the Espionage Act and obstruction statutes that call for decades in prison if he's in fact convicted. Now, whether it ever gets to be that far is unknown yet. We're just at the beginning of what's going to be a long process. But it's going to be up to the former president to decide how this case goes, in large part. A hallmark of his legal strategy has always been to delay, and he will undoubtedly try to get some of the evidence thrown out. He may try to get the charges reduced or tossed out altogether. How successful that can be, we're not sure. But the allegations contained in the indictment are serious for two reasons. One, because the information that he's accused of unlawfully retaining related not just classified material, but some of the nation's most sensitive defense secrets about nuclear weapons, about battle plans for attacking Iran. And those he can make no claim that they're his. Those are government documents. And the obstruction statutes say that the former president, when the FBI came calling to try to retrieve these materials, took steps to try and thwart that effort. And that is where the special counsel believes former President Trump really went awry.
And we've been showing the photos of those boxes, John. You've been to Mar-a-Lago many times.
Yep.
You say one picture in particular was very striking to you, is the picture of those boxes on what looks like a stage.
Yeah.
Why did that stand out to you?
Because I've been in that room. So, it's almost like you saw this in the document. And not that we should relate to any of this, but we do, because we've covered him. And seeing that image, Eva, I've been there. I know exactly where that room is in Mar-a-Lago. So Mar-a-Lago, though it's the president's home, it's a club. I mean, anybody can go in. You have to be a member, but you could bring a guest of a guest. We could all go for lunch one day if we wanted. But that room in particular, it's right off one of the main entrances. It's lined by French doors. We all have seen French doors in our lives. They're glass. You can look in. So anybody, in theory, could have walked around and seen those boxes. I will tell you, in a past trip, I have freely walked around Mar-a-Lago. You can walk into that room. So if I'm going for a dip in the pool and then wanted to go into that room, I could do that. And that's what's so scary, that sensitive material left wide out in the open.
And Aaron, before we go, what about a mugshot? Will we see one before the day is over?
we're not going to see a mugshot of the former president. Even if one was taken, it wouldn't be released in the federal system. His fingerprints will be taken using an electronic scan, no ink on the fingers or anything like that. And otherwise, it's not expected he's going to be here on the grounds for very long. The Secret Service would like to get him in and out as quickly as possible, and then he immediately returns to New Jersey so he can address supporters at his golf club in Bedminster, once again putting his prosecution as a focal point of his politics.
And John, I have to ask you, how do you think he's going to handle all of this? What's his strategy going to be here?
Delay, delay, delay. He does not want this trial to come anytime soon. He wants to get back on the campaign trail. He wants to paint this as a victim. Any way to tell people, this is my target. They're coming at me. You need to defend me. And whatever you do, don't go to court.
All right, John and Aaron, good to see you guys, and thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right.
Well, hey there, GMA fans. Robin Roberts here. Thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Lots of great stuff here. So go on, click the subscribe button right over here to get more of awesome videos and content from GMA every day, anytime. We thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the morning on GMA.